And we're back with another episode of the WKS Podcast After Dark Edition.
After Dark.
We're recording this one because Cody's going to be out of pocket tomorrow because he's got to take engagement photos.
Yeah.
Those are the things.
Domestic duties.
Yeah, domestic duties.
General domestic duties.
So he's not going to be around tomorrow. So we're going to do it a little early. I want to try and I'm going to try and stream something else tomorrow as well. I had a little plan that I might do.
Oh, yeah?
If I get back in time. Because we're going to a birthday party tomorrow.
Whose birthday is it?
It's Big Baby Mark's birthday.
Oh.
He gonna be 20. Oh gosh, I don't know. 23 now.
Oh, you don't even know how old he is?
I don't know.
Man, he's your friend.
I know he is. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I don't ever know how old I am.
Yeah.
The only reason I know this year is because it's like one past the milestone. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Here in another couple of years, I'll just forget again.
Yeah. Totes my goats.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard being 26.
Yeah. Memories going already.
Yep. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to old Mark out there.
Marky Mark.
Yeah. Chuck E. Cheese for my birthday. Chuck E. Cheese for my birthday. So.
Well, does he know yet that y'all are playing D&D? When he's having a party?
We aren't playing D&D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it didn't come together. But it will at some point.
Yeah.
I think we're going to play Catan.
That's a good compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just hope it,
Goes better than last time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not from them, more from
Yeah.
just,
Yeah. Well,
certain things. We had some people not happy in their lot in the Catan game, and they got mad and got left.
yeah, well.
Them's a shake sometimes.
Man, people getting so salty about Catan.
though. Yeah.
Because, like, friggin'.
What are you about to say over there?
What?
What are you about to say over there? Are you about to clown on me?
I'm not going to clown on you, actually.
Yes, you are.
I was about to talk about my fiance will no longer play Catan with me because, like, me and another couple of people that we know were playing. And, yeah, I might have or might not have let the other guy who's playing win the game just for the sake of male solidarity.
Oh, man.
And now I'm officially without a Catan partner.
You're Catanless.
Yeah.
Well, we have a Catan board game, but you're Catanless.
Yeah.
I keep hitting my mic. I'm sorry, guys.
Making everybody else deaf.
Yeah, no.
Nice.
Yeah, so gonna be doing that tomorrow, and then when I get back from that, I thought maybe streaming some.
Well, give
first
away
of all,
the secret?
what?
You're going to give away the secret?
Well, I'm gonna try. I don't want to promise anything. That's why I'm just gonna say this outright.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to stream some Warzone. I want to try, but I don't know how well it's gonna go. It didn't go well last time. I'm gonna have to get a new graphics card, I think.
Yeah. Is there any way you can turn down the video settings on the game?
Yeah, I did that, and it's still pretty choppy. One would hope that maybe I could. Sorry. Ah!
Oh, we'll cut that out.
Goodness gracious. No. That's part of the After Dark segment. Yeah. I'm going to try and do some Warzone. And if not, I'm going to try and do some Crusader Kings, I think.
That would actually be fun.
Yeah. Because then people can just sit there and listen and, jive out while I take over Eastern Europe.
Well, I think that might actually be kind of a fun thing now that I'm thinking about it, just to do.
Yeah.
Because there's enough time for conversation.
Yeah.
In that, whereas Warzone, it's fun to watch, don't get me wrong, but also that's all that's going on.
Yeah, like Crusader Kings 3, I feel like you could probably be more in tune with your audience while you're dealing with it, you know?
Yeah, and I think just in general, it's a more interesting game.
Yeah. There's more. I feel like Warzone's a chess match, so it's like it's mentally draining. But Crusader Kings is an actual chess match,
Yeah.
so it's not like mentally draining. If that makes sense at all. And what I'm saying.
Yeah. I would say Warzone is more like really fast checkers, and Crusader Kings is more like chess.
Yeah, that's fair. It's really fair. But that's what I'm going to try and do tomorrow, I think.
That sounds like a good plan.
We'll see. Then I'll release the After Dark episode. Well, you'll be hearing it after it's released, so I'm going to release it probably around 2 in the morning of Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'll put that on the Twitters before this comes out so that everybody knows.
Nice. All of our followers.
Remind me, Casey, to do that.
Yeah. But talking about Warzone, you have some big news from tonight.
Oh, yeah. Guess what, guys?
What?
I gotta win!
Ooh.
I'm going pro!
Took you long enough.
Yeah, I know.
If you're going pro, don't you get like more than one win?
No, they don't win all the time. They kill race. It's kill race. I get high kills all the time. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm going pro! No, but I think I had 13 kills, and the other guy, it was a trio, so it was me, Devin, and another guy we know. His name is Zach. We all played tonight, and we got some pretty good chemistry between the three of us. I think if we did a trios tournament, we could probably get somewhere in it, honestly.
Yeah.
But Devin had 4 kills. But let me preface this by saying he was an amazing support. He, picked up the kills when he needed to. He cleaned them up,
Pop the UAVs needed.
Popped the UAVs, carried the cash.
There you go.
Picked us up. He saved us at the end, really, because...
well, first of all, where did the circle end?
At Park, outside of downtown.
Wow.
Yeah.
That almost never happens.
I know. So so I had 13 kills and Zach had 14, and then Devin had 4. But like I said, Devin saved us right at the end and pretty much kept us alive the entire time. So what it was is that that area that has the waist high brick wall that's just out in the middle of the park.
Yeah,
and it's in a circle.
Yeah, and then it's kind of up that hill to that tower on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the tower was out of the zone. So we were up on the hill and they were down on this berm, basically.
Yeah. Kind of where that little bluff is. Yeah.
Yeah. And they knocked Zach, and I'm like, oh crap, we're gonna lose this. And they call an airstrike, and I move off because I'm like, maybe we can salvage this somehow, because Devin's trying to pick up Zach, and I'm like, both of them are gonna freaking die here, and I'm gonna be left alone. And I'm laying cover and fire the entire time, just shooting, popping up, shooting, popping back down, putting some armor plates on, because there's 3 of them on the other side, And then miraculously, airstrike doesn't kill Devin, doesn't kill Zach. Devin gets Zach back up, and then
they played up, and then
played up, and then I take one on the side while they're doing that. He's down, and then they get the other team gets antsy, and they start pushing on us, and I took another one down, and then I'm sorry guys, I'm part of the problem. I made an Odin class, or not an Odin, Origin shotgun class. Just because I made it out of sheer spite and hate, but
well, it works.
It does.
Yeah.
I pulled that thing out, man, and I charged at that last guy, and he was hiding behind the berm. I threw a piece of C4 as I was running at him, and he ducked to dodge it, and I just jumped over that thing, and I just went to town on him. and I picked up all 3 of the last kills. I'm not, I'm just not patting myself on the back, but
Yeah, so basically Zach would have beat you out.
he would have. Yeah, oh yeah, he would have.
So you're not the MVP.
No.
You make it sound. You need to tell the story truthfully. You make it sound like you were the MVP of that win.
Zach was a murderer the entire time. I'm not gonna. Hey,
Okay.
he was killing it. Like every time we were in a fight, he wiped like 3 teams by himself probably.
All I'm saying
Yeah,
is just give credit where credit's due.
but I wiped the last team.
Yeah,
I finished this time. So
gross.
what? Stop with that. But yeah, it was a pretty touch and go game, like right up to the end, because we got into downtown, and
Man, downtown is always just
it's rough.
Well, you're just rolling the dice because there's so many different buildings and angles that you can get shot from.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it was just like about when the third to last circle, it was basically pushing us out of downtown into the park, and we stopped at this buy station at the fire station to get a loadout because I had died and Devin had died, and we'd gotten out of the gulag basically, and we had no weapons. And we're like going into the last stretch of this, and I'm like, oh man, we're in trouble. So we get to the fire station. There's a whole team there. They down Zach, and then he crawls behind a wall. I get one of them in the window, and Devin gets Zach back up, and Zach takes the one in the window, and then I think Devin got the other guy. So we took him down pretty effectively, and it was hectic. And then after that happened, like, we're at the buy station getting a loadout drop, and a guy just waltzes up and like deces Zach again, and I'm like, no, not like this. So I ran up to him, and I origined the piss out of him. I mean, I probably unloaded 12 bullets on the guy, and took him down. And it wasn't a team wipe, but nobody else is around him. So he must have just been like, his team had came back and like went into the zone maybe. I don't know. But we got our loadouts. I died at the fire station right there on that last fight. So I just got my old loadout, and then we got a ghost, so I can get extra sweaty. But right in that little area is where it got really hectic, and we were sweating bullets, man. It how it is when you come out of downtown. It's like people are just running through all those alleyways and stuff, and you're like, oh god, I don't know which
the gas.
Yeah, I don't know which one they're gonna come out of, basically. So it got a little hairy, but we made it through.
Speaking of, I'm kind of thinking about remaking my Warzone loadout class with just Ghost.
Yeah. Because
I always run into this scenario, I don't know if you're the same way, where I'll actually have a weapon, at least one weapon that I like, when I go to get my loadout. Yeah. So I feel like sometimes even I'm like, I'm doing pretty good with this set of weapons that I have. Yeah. And then I'll get Ghost instead. But I'm like, maybe I should just put my favorite weapon on there with the pistol, and then just keep whatever secondary weapon that I have, and have Ghost on there instead of Overkill. So,
well, unfortunately, they don't have a Kilo with a monolithic suppressor, VLK scope, Commando 4 grip, 60 round mag on the ground, and they don't have my origin shotgun.
But they do have a lot of origin shotguns.
Yeah, but the one I've got's pretty devastating. It kills at like short to mid range in like 4 shots
because of the choke.
Yeah, well, it'll kill somebody in 2 shots if you're like up close with them. So, yeah, it's crazy. But I can see what you mean. I just don't like a lot of the ground weapons enough. Like the only ones I really like are the kilo with the thermal scope, and I hate a thermal scope, so like that just it messes me up really. And then the other one is like a MP5 that has a thermal scope on it, but it's got pretty good attachments other than that.
Yeah.
And it's also got like it's got a thermal scope, but it's got like one of those that you can like pop down.
Yeah. What is it? Variable.
Yeah. Well, it's got the short stock on it, or the foldable stock, or whatever that one's called. And then, so I can get by with that one, but anything else, I'm not. I just,
Yeah. Well,
I'm getting so good at getting my loadout so quick that I don't really use the ground weapons much, which may be a bad thing, to be honest.
well, I feel like if you're leaning on the loadout weapons a lot,
Yeah.
when you come back, sometimes it feels like you're super vulnerable
Yeah.
whenever you respawn from the gulag and you have to find something.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, and AUGs. I like AUGs. Like all the AUGs, pretty much.
the thing about the AUG is there's not enough ammo
Yeah.
in the clip.
Yeah.
That's what always gets me killed
Yeah.
with a ground weapon. Is I'm used to that.
Like
you know,
you can just
50,
unload
60
a
round
clip.
clip.
Yeah.
Not even usually what happens is like I'll kill one guy
Mm-hmm.
with a ground weapon, and then usually I'm like, all right, I have enough ammo to kill the next guy.
Yeah.
But then you got like 3 bullets left.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh,
Shit.
I guess I'm dead now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that goes back to like my over reloadingness.
Which drives
Yes.
me up the wall, by the way. Still. You've been doing this since Halo 2, and it's still...
Hey, man. The one thing that kills humankind more than anything is an empty clip. So. So, what game? I think it was Mass Effect that was like, even in the future, you can't not die from empty guns. So.
Yeah.
I think that's
Having
what
to
that.
reload.
Yeah. It was the funniest thing in the world. Yeah, so that's basically my night was that Warzone win. And, man, I was pumped. Fucking pumped. I came out of here just pumped.
Yeah, well, I was actually sitting in the other room, and
Yeah.
when you yelled, I was like, oh, he finally got it. I knew what was up. So,
Yeah.
but, well, that's good. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm glad you finally got it.
Thanks.
I hope you get another one
Thanks.
at some point.
Yeah.
I feel like the competition has gotten quite a bit better, though.
It has.
Because,
Like, it's just blown up, to be honest.
yeah, when we first started playing, every game felt like it was reasonable to win.
I could probably,
And then-
if I was playing like I am now back then, I'd probably win once a day or more.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now it's just like everybody's just so freaking like good, you know?
Well, not just like skill wise, but also strategy. Everybody's kind of
Yeah.
honed in on what you have to do to win. And
You got to carry a towel with you wherever you go because you're so sweaty.
stay sweaty.
I made a funny meme the other day.
Was it funny?
It was. I thought it was. I thought it was clever, but maybe it's not. Maybe it is. I don't know. But let me see if I can find it. Filibuster for me, brother. What do you got over there? What have you been doing this week? What's your deals?
Oh, I'm looking at Twitter right now.
Why?
Twitter has been a hellscape the
Yeah.
last week.
Well, it's Twitter, so.
Yeah. And elections coming up, and Supreme Court justice just died earlier. Well, I guess it's yesterday now. But
Rip in peace.
yeah, so everybody is
It's-
going crazy on both sides.
It's a darn
So-
shame to see anybody die like in a position like that.
Well, I don't care who you are. Like, if you get this much hate after you die, man, you have to be looking down like, did I really do things right? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of a shame.
I can't find it, I don't think. But basically,
Are we still looking for that meme?
yeah, I
Okay.
was still looking for it. I can't find it. I should have saved it, but I just copied it and pasted it. Because, it was funny. But, yeah. Gosh, we talk way too much. Like, way too much. Here it is. Oh, no. Nope. Can't find it. I don't care. Too much work. Anyways, basically what it was is, the Lord of the Rings scene from Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
The Fellowship of the Ring. Where Isildur goes to take the ring, and he's like, destroy it! Throw it into the fire!
Oh, I remember this now, yeah.
And I cropped out a picture of the Odin, and, like, it was what
the origin.
God, yeah. I just think Odin because it's just a monster of a weapon. Origin. Yeah, I photoshopped a picture of the origin out and put it in Isildur's fingers. And then it was like, destroy it, throw it into the fire. And then it looks over at him and it's just like, I'm sweaty. And I was so freaking, like, I was so proud of myself. I don't care if anybody else was, but I was proud as can be about it.
Yeah, you know what makes a joke better?
When I laugh at myself.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, if
everybody
I don't laugh
thinks
at
it's
it,
funny.
Yeah.
When you think it's funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Gotta sell it, man. Yeah, you're a salesman when it comes to telling jokes. Did you know that?
Oh, I am?
No, you have to be a salesman when you to be a comedian. You have to sell jokes. You can't like just throw it out there and be like, ha 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 ha, so funny. I mean, you can, but then you'd be I don't know any comedians right now.
I don't know any comedians, but here's how you be successful at comedy.
Yeah. Chris Farley. He did freaking somersaults and cartwheels, and he was big and jolly and energetic all the time, And every joke he did, he just was all in on.
Yeah. Well, I feel like he was selling more than you had to get by.
Yeah.
But that's what made him great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 110%.
Yeah.
All the time.
All right. I have another topic.
Okay.
So we we're talking about what you would stream, either Warzone or Crusader Kings.
Duh.
What's your opinion on CK3? Because I've watched you play it a little bit, and I've seen like some gameplay footage and stuff, but I haven't played it yet, mainly because I don't have a PC that'll swing it right now.
Yeah.
But
hey, here it is. We changed PCs, by the way. Mine's been having some power issues, and I finally switched out the power brick in it, or the power supply in it, and now we're using it to stream because it's a little bit more powerful than Cody's. But Crusader Kings wise, I think it's the best like vanilla drop they've ever done of a game, because like they've only been getting better since the beginning, or since like Crusader Kings really. Like Europa, well, Crusader Kings 2, start with that one. When it came out, it was disgraceful.
Yeah.
Like it was like the learning curve, you think it was bad when you started, like the learning curve was just, it was bad. It was terrible. And the map looked awful. Like, they did a lot to that game after launch, basically. And it, like, that's how they kind of operate, is like they'll put out something that's like a little bit janky, but then they'll work on it, and then
just
by the
clean
time
it up.
by the time they're done with it, it's like immaculate.
So like every other game in this day and age?
Yeah, but it's like they at least give you something that's fun and playable and doesn't have like a ton of glitches, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I feel like if any game has the excuse to be a bit janky at release, it's probably those, because it's so
it's like a
in depth and complicated.
It kind of reminds me of like, it's not like Skyrim release day. It's like Oblivion release day. Like yeah, there were some glaring things, but like it's still a fun game, and it's still not like, you don't have to deal with terribleness to play it. You know what I mean? So it's like it's fun in and of itself.
Yeah.
And but I think one thing they need to do is you need to be able to customize the UI. You need to, be able to navigate a little better. And for God's sakes, take the freaking console choices and stuff off the right side of the screen and put it back where it's supposed to be on the top. Drives me up a wall. I'll go over to pick like, any of my little decisions I have, and like it'll just scroll me right on the screen, and it drives me insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. So
Yeah.
your cursor gets over close to the edge,
Yeah.
and it just pulls you away.
Yeah, it'll just take you over to like Asia, and you're like, dude, I don't care about it. I'm trying to take over Ireland. Let me take over Ireland. I don't care what's going on over there.
Just keep me
They're
focused.
horse lords.
Just keep me focused on
Yeah.
Ireland.
Yeah, I'm having to worry about the fucking Nords over here anyways, so.
Well, but you were talking about like it being the best vanilla drop.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as things that they've added,
Mm-hmm.
to me, it looks like the biggest thing is one, the being able to focus down on counties.
Yeah. Well, that's
Like-
the thing is Crusader Kings 2, there's just provinces, and within that province you can build towns and stuff like that, but those aren't notated. But with
Yeah, it's just on the menu.
with
like-
3, like you build a town or a church or something in one of the provinces in the barony, it will like show up there on the map, and it's actually there where you can click on it, and if you own it, you can like manage it and stuff like that. But by that time, you just need to give it to somebody else and just let them do what they're going to do with it. But yeah, so it's like it gives it another depth of vassalage. If
One more layer.
yeah, because it's like you had those back then, but it really didn't mean anything. Whereas now, like, it kind of means a little bit more.
Yeah, well, to me, that was one of the more confusing parts of CK2.
Yeah.
Is when I first started playing, I didn't really get how you have this province, and then you click on it, and every other game you're thinking, oh, I just build stuff on this province, right? You
Yeah.
build this thing up and, make cities and get more income off of it. But then
Yeah.
you go to the province and it has like these individual city things,
Yeah.
and they're actual vassals that control those cities.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about them, which is nice.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's confusing because I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
is the province what I'm improving, or is this city? And then I don't know what I have control over
Yeah.
whenever I'm looking at this city. But then probably with it being on the actual map, it's more clear when you zoom down.
Yeah, like
This
oh,
person
hey,
has
yeah,
control of this, and I'm the boss of them.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that's something I guess that is intuitive to other people, but
Mhm.
it took me a long time to really understand how that worked.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And another thing, this is my other gripe with the game, is when you are at war and you call allies into war, or you are chasing enemies, they will beeline. I don't care if like some Nordic country in the middle of Scandinavia like has set all of Ireland on fire. If you call your allies into war, they're not going to come help you get your island back. They're going to sail directly to the middle of Scandinavia
to take their capital.
Which doesn't make a lick of sense, because if I lose all my provinces, that's 100% war score against me, and then,
Well, probably the logic they're using in the AI right now
yeah,
is like
it's pretty simple.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
automatically attack the most valuable target
Exactly.
to the war score,
Yeah.
which is probably always the capital.
Yeah. So I need to fix that. And in CK2 they they had where you could command your allies to actually,
Stick with you.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they would, which is nice because, like, you have your whole allies behind you, and like they march like 6,000 troops, and you've got like 8,000 with your allies, and then when you're heading towards them, your allies just split off somewhere, and then you're at like 5,000 troops and just go in there and just get murdered. You know?
As you're walking into the province.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
And I almost lost like half of England in one game doing that, like that happening to me. So.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the fun part, but also the risky part.
Yeah.
A lot of times in those bigger wars, it comes down to like this one fight that you're kind of dancing around.
Yeah.
And when it finally happens, whoever wins that really, you may fight a long drawn out war, but that's the battle that causes you to win or lose.
Yeah.
And so if you lose because your teammate just abandoned you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
it will infuriate you.
Yeah.
But I've got to give them props. Like I said, it's one of the best first day releases they've ever had. Because it couldn't have gotten worse than like Hearts of Iron. Although Hearts of Iron was a pretty good release, but Hearts of Iron is just a very, 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 very in-depth game. Very in-depth game. And you don't go by days. You go by hours in that game. So, like, you really only play like 30 days. Or, whatever. Actually, a little bit more than that, but with CK3, you play days, and I think you play you can play from 8:46 right now. I'd say they're probably going to go earlier, or they're going to give more options.
The start
moving
dates.
forward, yeah. But right now, I think it's 8:64 and 10. I can't remember what the other one is.
Well, it was like 1066.
Yeah,
on
1066.
the last game.
Yeah, I think that's what it is on this one.
Yeah, because that's kind of the most popular one. I feel like.
Yeah, and then I think it goes all the way to the 1800s, basically wherever Europa starts.
That's pretty late.
Well,
really,
maybe it's the 1600s.
I was gonna say it's probably earlier than that.
It is the 1600s because I think Europa starts and it's like because it's like when muskets are introduced and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Because you don't have muskets in Crusader Kings.
So, have you seen anybody do that transition yet? Like a CK3 game to Europa?
Well, with CK2, for a while, I don't know if they still had that tool out there available or not. But a while, you could take a CK2 game all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a tool called just a like Europa game save converter, basically. And then you would just convert it into Europa and then play it all the way to when it ended. And it was cool, but also it was janky a little bit.
Yeah.
Because the provinces didn't match up and there were some trading issues, because in Europa, trade is like your big thing. Whereas in like Crusader Kings, it's war and, well, there's some trade in it, but like you can definitely get away with not having to worry too much about trade in that one. But Europa, like that's your livelihood.
Yeah,
being able to make troops and...
Well, and also the focus is way different too,
Yeah.
because CK is more like this dynastical
like
succession thing, whereas Europa
you're
is
playing
like,
eugenics.
Yeah. Whereas Europa is like you're a nation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you follow the nation all the way through.
Well, you have rulers that give you certain amount of stat, increases on stuff, but it's nowhere near in depth, as in depth. It's like
because if your ruler dies in Europa, it's not like a death knell to your game.
No, like it doesn't split your country into 7 pieces and they're border goring each other and now you have to kill all of your brothers and sisters to get all your shit back, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And that takes up half your life.
Yeah.
And then you only have the second half to do anything with.
Pretty much.
So,
yeah.
to me, that's what's frustrating. You get a good ruler, and then it's sort of like, I spent my entire reign
trying to get everything back together.
Yeah, trying to fix all the screw ups
Yeah.
of the transition. But
Well, and that's the risk you take too when you create, because the way most of the time you start out is you start out as a county, a barony, and you either start as like the baron of it or the count, and if you're a count, you're gonna or if you're a duke, not a count, sorry. If you're a duke, you have your own like area of land that you
a
rule.
duchy.
Yeah, duchy. Yeah, duchy. Who can be either like a petty king or like just a duke. And then above that is a king. Like one of the things in Ireland is you have to get all the duchies together. But if you don't get all the duchies together before you die, they all break apart again, and then you have to go again to get them back together to make the kingdom, so.
Yeah, so you have to establish the title before you die.
Exactly, so.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about it a little bit before, and I think this is one of the more interesting things about that game is when you study history in school, a lot of this stuff is just like so foreign. Yeah. The reasons why things play out like they do.
Yeah.
And
I can totally understand why Henry VIII killed 3 wives.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can totally understand it now.
Yeah, well, you look at it from the lens of actually trying to keep a kingdom together.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, if I look back on this, set of events that happened.
Yeah. Like, man, that guy's a jerk.
Yeah, it's easy to think, man, this is a savage time in history, and then people of today wouldn't do the same thing.
Yeah, but you think back then they're like, well, what other choice do we have?
Exactly. They're operating underneath a system.
Yeah.
Right? So they're making choices as best they can, to preserve their own livelihood and their family's livelihood and their country's livelihood if they're, depends on how good or how evil they are. But most of the time, the savage events that happen aren't necessarily as savage as they seem in retrospect,
Yeah.
It's really just... these are the rules they're having to play by.
Exactly.
And so they're playing the game as best as they can.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's like they only know how to operate within what they've been raised in.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't know anything about like democratic republics or capitalism. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It only took 1776 to be able to make that happen. So.
Yeah.
Well. The Athenians were kind of doing it.
We put it all together.
Yeah, we did.
Lots of different countries had scraps of it, but
we just took it all and was like, we're gonna figure it out. Don't worry about it, guys.
Yeah.
And then France tried to adopt it and chopped a bunch of people's heads off. So
who knows? Well, they eventually made it halfway.
Yeah.
So
they made it halfway.
Yeah.
Now they just pay each other in baguettes.
And they have a president and a prime minister, which still doesn't make sense to me. So
yeah, well, it's that like I don't even know what their form of government is over there, to be honest with you. So is like the prime minister like the vice president, or?
No, I don't think so. I think it's more akin to like the House of Lords and the House of Commons type thing.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't know enough to say.
Yeah. People from France. Hit us up.
Chime in.
Tell us how it works.
Tell us what's going on over there.
How's Paris? Do you pay each other in baguettes?
Yeah. How's the coffee?
Yeah.
I hear it's good.
It is.
Have you been?
No.
Oh, okay. Can't take your word for it then.
I know.
But
my voice is going today. I've been screaming too much.
Yeah.
I'm struggling over here.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to hit that topic because, or just CK3 in general, because I feel like so many games are coming out right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, really, because we all spent so much time inside.
Yeah.
Over the course of the summer.
Yeah.
And just very few really good games came out.
Yeah.
And now all of them are coming out. And I'm thinking,
Cold War, baby.
Where were all of these?
I can't wait for Black Ops Cold War. I'm so excited.
When is that due to release?
November.
It's pretty soon.
Yeah.
Did they just announce that?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I feel like they announced those things way out now. Or they used to, but now it's like...
Well, the alpha is out right now. I downloaded it today, so...
Yeah?
I'll play it tomorrow. Multiplayer, yeah.
Cool.
I watched the doc play it today. He was doing all right.
Yeah. Does it look similar in, like, mechanics and stuff to Modern Warfare?
No. Treyarch, has always been more arcadey kind of feel, too. So, it's very much more arcadey feeling.
Yeah.
So,
not so much
realistic. I'm not, it doesn't hurt my feelings,
That probably...
I like that feel.
Yeah, probably to me, I would prefer that.
Yeah.
Since I grew up on Halo and everything.
Yeah, I like
these super realistic shooters. Just never quite gotten the hang of them.
Yeah. Well, Black Ops has always been my favorite Call of Duty series. I didn't play 3 or 4, but like 1 and 2 were always they were amazing. I loved them.
You know what I like about Call of Duty?
What?
Is instead of letting the numbering get too high, they're just like, we're just gonna start over.
Yeah. Well, Modern Warfare. How many Modern Warfares have there been now?
I don't know, but we're back on 1.
Yeah.
So
they're like, whatever.
You're like, there are no rules. We can just name it.
Who's gonna tell them no? Oh, we were talking tonight
over here. Final Fantasy on what 16?
Yeah,
now?
they just. I hadn't watched the trailer for it, but it's whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, what were you saying? Earlier tonight. Talking about naming.
Oh,
too many numbers.
God, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Sorry, man. It is late. We're still doing this after dark, so
yeah.
It's still the late
2:30.
Yeah, it's 2:30 right now.
2:30.
Tooth hurty.
2:30.
Yeah. Somebody needs to talk to the dentist. But we were talking, if Infinity Ward isn't like the biggest, like making the most money right now in the gaming like sphere, it would blow my mind. Like I don't think EA is even making as much as this, even nickel and diamond people to death. So,
well, it's crazy because they seem to have found like this really nice medium.
Yeah.
Between like the microtransactions, where they have the independent currency within the game, but it's not just to stand in for dollars.
Yeah,
like you actually earn it in the game. So it's kind of on the edge of those mobile games that you play.
Yeah,
where it's like, okay, I can just speed this up a little bit, but it's not quite just straight up Overwatch where there's no incentive to.
Overwatch.
Buy anything,
I love Overwatch.
It's all just skins. So
I'd love Overwatch. I would buy every skin on that game.
You're being facetious.
No, I would. What? I do like Overwatch.
You do?
Lot. Yes. I fucking love that game, dude. Nobody will play it anymore.
Man.
Yeah. Reinhardt? Amazing.
One of my biggest regrets buying that game.
Overwatch, really?
Yeah. I bought it. I played it twice, and I was like, forget this game.
Dude, I played so much of that game back in the day.
Maybe as I came into it too late. It was already too mature.
Yeah. You had to, like... It was kind of like... it's kind of like the Warzone thing. Like, everybody was really new, and then we all grew together, Yeah,
if you come in late, it's just...
Yeah, it's like you're having to catch up. It's kind of like, what was the old game? Shadow Runners? Is that what it is?
Shadowrun?
Yeah, Shadowrun. Oh my gosh, yeah. Like if you came into that game late, you just might as well not play it.
Yeah, it's just too hard.
Yeah. They were too good. Or Counter-Strike. Or any of those.
Yeah.
Basically, any of that stuff.
Yeah. Kind of like on a micro level, if we started playing Call of Duty right now, everybody else been playing for 7 hours. There's no way.
I'm still warmed up.
Well, if I did.
I'm going to get a W if I get back on.
No.
So.
Don't do it to yourself. You're in a good mood right now. You want to go to bed just pissed off?
You know what? Today I just told myself, I was like, I'm not getting mad anymore at it.
But you were.
I wasn't getting mad.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
Dude, I walked in here. You got killed by a fire shotgun.
It's a fire shotgun.
Yeah.
Get him out. Nobody wants him there.
Sent you through the roof, son.
No, it did
and
not
that's when I
send me
left.
through.
I was like, okay.
Yeah, it did not send me through the roof. I was fine. I got out of the gulag, and I was fine.
Did you go back and kill him?
In fact, I did. Yeah.
I bet that made you feel way better.
It really did. Man, it did. Like, I got a point to prove, and I'm going to go back and freaking prove it. So, I might have killed everybody along the way on our team. But
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Did you drive them off into the ocean?
No. That never happened.
I watched it happen.
You did not watch it happen.
I watched it happen.
Yeah.
You murdered 3 people in cold blood, including your suicide.
4 people. Actually, was it? Was it 3?
Yeah, you had a car full of people.
Yeah, I had 4.
It was on quads.
That's all right.
And you had just got your loadout.
Hey, man. They probably deserved it.
Okay. I just couldn't believe that, though. I was like, they just bought their loadout. They're in such a good position. They're in a car with a trophy system on it.
Yeah.
And what do? Drive them right off the pier into the water.
Dude.
And everybody died.
It's just port. Like, nobody likes port. Let's get port out of it. Replace it with something else. Just put something else there. Nobody likes vacant. It's an awful map. It wasn't bad in the original Modern Warfare, but like the original Modern Warfare was a far different game from this game, and you cannot make that map fit in there. So that's
it
my
is
2
pretty
cents.
bad. Yeah.
It's just too simple. Like, they've got this problem right now, Infinity Ward does, with creating multiplayer maps, is they make them either too simple or not simple enough. You know what I mean? Like, all the new maps that they've come out with that are not the remakes of the old maps have just been busy. I mean, busy. They've got, like, 7 different corners on every lane. Like, you know, you can get shot across the lane in, like, 6 different areas. But, like, then you have, like, the old maps, and they have 0 lanes. Or they have 3 lanes or 4 lanes or 5 lanes, you know? And there's like just hallways with no cover. So it's like there's no like in between with these people.
Yeah, well,
like the closest one's probably Hackney Yard or something along those lines.
yeah, if I had to pick one as like best design, that would be up there. And it's really, I think, because of the over-under nature of the warehouse and the office building.
Yeah.
That makes for a good dynamic. And also, it's kind of probably the worst part of that map are the backs, because it's so easy to get trapped there sometimes.
Yeah.
But even then, like the back warehouse on the side with the cop car, that one is pretty easy to defend. Like, you can just hole up in there if you get trapped there.
Yeah.
But then the other side, it has the escape onto the roof in the middle. So that kind of balances it out a bit.
Yeah.
But it's not easy designing a multiplayer map.
No,
you know,
I would assume it's not. You know, I'm like I said, woe be it to me to even judge what these people do, but like, you know, they've got to do something that is not just there's 7 different corners you have to check before you turn left, you know what I mean?
See, the sucky part is this. Is like you almost don't know for sure if your multiplayer map is good or bad until you get a ton of plays.
Like a live play test.
Yeah, and so if you're putting all the work into making a map, you might as well just release it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's I
Well,
kind of see where they're at with that.
And I think Infinity Ward is releasing maps just to have creative elements for a new map. I really think that's the only reason they release multiplayer maps anymore. Because you'll probably see a lot of the new maps in the next, like,
BR
Warzone
map.
map. Which, it sounds like they're going to stay with Warzone for the Battle Royale. So, which kind of sucks, I think.
Why?
Because I kind of wanted a new map, like a Cold War map.
You mean Verdansk?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So, maybe when they get closer, we'll see.
well, kind of what I was thinking the reason behind that is
Mm-hmm.
it just takes so much time and effort to develop
yeah,
like
it
a
does.
map and
Yeah.
to get it to where it's not buggy.
Yeah.
Because you think even when they released the thing,
Fix the rocks!
yeah, well,
Cripes. Makes me so mad. I'll be like, or fix the vaulting. The vaulting in the rocks, man. Like, I can't vault through a window sometimes, and it'll kill me.
do you think it would be better to? Because I feel like the reason the rocks are a problem is because they want to make them look realistic.
Yeah.
What if they just made them all like step kind of things instead of trying to make it look realistic? You just make it playable, more playable.
I don't know. That's something that Treyarch would do.
Yeah.
That's not something Infinity Ward would do. Treyarch's more like it's less about the graphics and it's more about the arcadey gameplay.
Yeah.
So, I think that's where you kind of get the difference between those two companies. Because you can definitely tell that art's like the difference in like art style and also the difference in like gameplay between the two games.
Mm-hmm.
They're both fast now, but like you can definitely still tell like whereas with Infinity Ward, like when you aim down a scope, you aim from like your right shoulder in, whereas like in Treyarch games, like you still kind of aim from the, you know what I mean? Like you kind of aim from the center instead of like the bring it in.
It looks like in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they've kind of gone away from it a little bit, but it's still like there. You can kind of tell.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm interested. I mean,
Yeah.
I probably won't play the campaign. I'll probably just play the multiplayer. It's been forever since I played Call of Duty campaign, but
I will play the campaign on this one because it's like direct successor to the first Black Ops, which everybody says that Modern Warfare 2 has the best campaign. Well, Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 are the best campaigns. That Black Ops campaign is so much fun. Because it's like you're a double agent the entire time, and it's great. And then you
spoilers.
go back. The game came out when I was like 12. Hey, why are you listening to this podcast if you've never played Black Ops 1? Get out.
And there's our
Yeah.
recurring driving off our audience
Yeah.
comment.
But seriously. But like if you look at the mission, like the mission names on there, there's a guy that that you are like you get incarcerated at the beginning of the game, and you and this guy like escape out of there who you made friends with while you were in there, but then you find out like he's like the guy who like brainwashed you into a double agent, and like you think he's dead the entire time. And then when you go back through looking at the mission things, it says something like he's not dead or something like that.
On the first letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So. Well, we've been going for about an hour now. My voice is all but giving out on me.
Yeah, and I'm getting pretty tired.
Me too.
It's been a long week.
It's been a long one, but it's been a good one.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been very
Got
beneficial.
a lot done. Yeah.
Yeah. Might have found an editor maybe.
Nice. Yeah, let's do some quick updates on the status, where we're going.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you do that.
Okay. Well, we have some work going on the website, of course. Casey is designing some modifications to the logo to give us a little more variation between our regular show and our After Dark show. I'm still cruising for some music, and I just noticed we don't have any music on this episode, which is cool.
Yeah.
But, yeah, again, that's something that I really like about talking over the music, because it never seems like there's any silence.
Yeah.
So, to me, it makes it feel way more laid back and chill.
I may be able to put some tracks in or something.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So, but we're developing that scene as well. Casey, like you mentioned, we're working on getting some people who are better at Photoshop to kind of help us along, not in place of the work that he's doing, but just get some more professional looking things. So,
because I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
By any span of the imagination. So
yeah. So we're kind of moving everything a little bit forward, and in the meantime, just putting out content as we go. So
we're just sending it.
You think we're not gonna send it,
but we're sending it.
But we're gonna send it. Yes.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it's probably a little lower energy, but we're committed to bringing you content every Tuesday and Saturday, and we've been working our tails off today, and we came in from work and decided we would do this tonight because we're not going to be here tomorrow.
And working on getting that W. That's what you've been doing.
Yeah, man. I have been like killing myself for that W tonight. So,
hey, before we go,
yeah,
you'll never guess who I saw today.
Who?
Everyone I looked at. Oh, all right. And on that note,
all right, catch us on the Twitters at WKS Podcast or the website at whisperkickstudios.com.
I like how you're just destroyed now.
Or you can email us if you have something more long form, or
at
if you have something more long form like video or pictures or anything to add to the podcast. We will play the videos, we will play the music, we will play, we'll use the pictures. If you have anything, just submit it there, or if you just have a longer comment, then what's the Twitter limit now? 270 characters?
Something like that.
Yeah, whatever that is. If it's longer than that, send it to us.
But our email is mailbag@whisperkickstudios.com.
There you go.
Yes.
You got it.
Yeah, nailed it.
Way to go.
See, you were about to cut me off, but I was like, I'm going to get it this week.
Yeah. Also, one little tidbit. I talked about Sneak Attack Podcast the other day and how they were like a big inspiration to me. They have decided to bring it to an end today with them finishing up their season 2 with a graphic novel of what ended in their story in the Arrowhead Galaxy where they were. And I just wanted to say, Reed, you're an amazing DM, man. Like, I hate to see, like, I'm going to miss listening to your guys' podcast. Josh, you're a killer character, man. Like, and you're a great DM too. And like, it's sad to see your character go because I always love your character work, and I am super freaking jealous of it. Kelsey, Josh's wife and also player in the game. You are always the voice of reason in all of those campaigns, and I am glad that you were that until the end. And then Mike, Sherwood is like the greatest character on the face of the earth, and you know it, and we all know it. And your Chris side hug is the best thing that I've ever heard, and I have used it in many campaigns. And then last but not least, and we're going after this, Danny, you're just the wild card, man, and like I'm gonna miss that. So, you guys have been a good inspiration on my life, and I hope whatever you guys do from here on out, you have a good time
and are successful.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And if you guys ever want to come on the podcast for an interview, I would be freaking starstruck about it. So that would be cool.
Yeah, maybe we'll have them on.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. Pick their brain about storytelling.
Man,
and
like Reed's
development. So.
Reed's a storyteller, and so is Josh. Man, really, all of them are, and they're just that's the reason they were so successful. So,
Right. Well,
they're an inspiration story.
Well, cool. On that sentimental note, we leave you. This has been Cody
and Casey
with the WKS Podcast.
Yup.
And we'll see you soon.
I got a W.